Well, hey guys, welcome back to the show. Y'all know what that show is. It's up in the back in that background in bright lights. It's the Backport Sports Podcast with your man Fonz.
And Quan.
Well, Mr. Day Off, how you doing?
I'm doing real good, man. I'm feeling real good. I'm rested.
I bet. Hey, look, what do you send in text messages looking at me all side-eyed? I'm like, wait a minute, you ain't even ready. You usually ready about 7 o'clock.
Nah, man. I kind of went crazy. I was watching the Mike Tomlin press conference, and I had posted our show up there, for everybody to follow. And Minkah Fitzpatrick was one of the ones that liked it. The comment.
Say word.
I was a little geeked up right then. A little
Say
bit.
Word. Hey, shout out to Minkah Fitzpatrick. Even though he one of the ops, man, but shout out to Minkah Fitzpatrick, man. Hey, that's news. That's big time, man. Hey, I feel special.
I do too. Hey man, listen. Hopefully he got my message. I know he's a very busy man, but
right, yeah, he got a lot going on right now.
Yeah, the like of the comment got me. I had to go on the page, make sure everything was everything.
Hey, look, you had to put on your glass. You don't even wear glasses, bitch. Put your glasses on.
But that was my little excitement for the day.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Big shout out to the big homie Minkah Fitzpatrick, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, so speaking of AFC North people, we're going to talk about a particular quarterback, and that person's name is Joe Burrow. And the question that we're going to try to answer, whether you agree or not, is whether or not Joe Burrow is overrated. I'm gonna start first. I'm gonna get mine out of the way.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, to answer the question, I'm gonna say he's on the fence, in my opinion, simply because it took him getting elite talent around him for him to truly blossom. If you remember his first year as a rookie, I don't really hold rookie seasons against quarterbacks. I know most people do, but I don't to a certain degree. He only played 10 games, got hurt, and that was it. But even in those 10 games, there was a little struggle. Well, people say, well, he took on the Chiefs and won, and he went to a Super Bowl. See, that's my problem with Burrow is that, he's living off of that fame. And I've kind of came up with some statistics. Not really statistics, but just key points. So winning playoff games is impressive, but let's put in parentheses that it is a team accomplishment. But it's not always due to quarterback performance. And it went over the Raiders 26-19. The Bengals 26, Raiders 19. When the Bengals won this game, it was not due to an exceptional performance by Burrow, who only managed 244 yards on 34 pass attempts. The Bengals' success in that game can be attributed more to their ability to capitalize on the Raiders' mistakes, including a strip fumble and a costly special teams error. And might I add, a missed PI call on the hands of those Bengals.
Right.
So let's go to the Titans when they win. This is the ugliest game he had in his playoff career. It was 19-16. It was a win over the Titans. Although Burrow amassed 348 yards, he took an amazing 9 sacks that resulted in a loss of 68 yards. So I'm looking at that. Let's subtract 348 and 68. The Bengals' offensive struggles and their inability to maintain long drives were mainly due to the high number of sacks that Burrow allowed. And also that defense, that Cincinnati defense was pretty good around that time. 27-24 went over the Chiefs. This one was due more to the Bengals defense restraining Mahomes rather than Burrow's quote-unquote mediocre 250 yards on 38 pass attempts. I agree with that. 24-17 over the Ravens. I believe this was a wild card game back in 22, I want to say. In this game, Burrow was outperformed by Tyler Huntley, both in the air and on the ground. A crucial 14-point swing play significantly contributed to the Bengals' win rather than Burrow's individual performance. Over the Bills, 27-10. While the final score implies a comfortable win, a closer look reveals that Burrow had a mediocre stat line of 242 yards on 36 pass attempts. The decisive victory can be credited more to Joe Mixon's impressive performance and Josh Allen's struggles than to Burrow's play. And that game is referencing, I want to say, the divisional round playoff game up in Buffalo in the snow. Mm-hmm. Now, last week on, I believe it's called The Facility now. It used to be Speak, but it's called The Facility now with Emmanuel Acho and James Jones and Shady McCoy. I have a sound bite that I want to share with you guys that's kind of echoing my point, so here it is.
You should be nervous, and I think it's time to, we got to start keeping it real for Joe Burrow. If Lamar Jackson throw that ball and his toe ain't out, it's a lot of ifs. If Jalen Hurts look down the middle of the field and read cover 2 and don't throw it and it ain't, it's a lot of ifs, but them dudes take a lot of heat. Joe Burrow has not been good, man, the last 2 years. And starting off this season, he ain't been good. He was 5-5 last year and then went out with an injury, all right? Then they went 4-3 without Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow without top elite wide receivers is average. Ooh. He is, but we keep no for real though. But we keep living on the Super Bowl appearance, but we don't live on other stuff for other quarterbacks. Joe Burrow's not playing good football right now. He ain't. Right? And we keep putting him up there saying he's better than Josh Allen. He's the number 2 quarterback in football. A lot of people say it. Don't look at me. A lot of people say it. But to be honest with you, the real is he ain't played well the last year and a half. He ain't.
And that is in reference to the Bengals' Week 1 loss versus the Patriots.
Yeah.
So I did all of that to say this. I agree wholeheartedly with James Jones when he said that quarterbacks, not just Joe Burrow, and even though he's not even germane to the topic, but I can throw in Josh Allen as well. These quarterbacks get a pass for prior success. But the NFL is like Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? Sir, you can go ahead and take it.
That was a good one. Is Joe Burrow overrated? I'll say yes, he's slightly overrated. And I do concur with the audio that you played from James Jones. I concur with your point as a whole. Honestly, I guess it's just an AFC North connection here. Mm-hmm. I do respect Joe Burrow to a certain extent. With the 5 playoff wins that you mentioned, he's only 26 years old. Well, 26, 27 now. And it kind of separates him. It kind of pits him in a different class of Mahomes and Big Ben and Tom Brady and Russell Wilson and Joe Flacco. With 5 playoff wins at his age, at his stage, in his career. But I do feel like he's overrated. I do feel like, the Bengals did a great job at giving him the supporting cast of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and company. Mm-hmm. I feel like, that definitely helped him. Without them, I don't think he'll be what we find him to be. And by the way, I've never heard anybody until right then say that he was the number 2 quarterback in NFL.
Now that was outlandish.
That's a stretch right there.
That was outlandish. I'm not going front.
I would probably rank Joe about number 6, possibly. But that's what the supporting cast that he got and everything that goes along with Cincinnati. But they've been just Cincinnati as a whole, and under Zach Taylor at being head coach, they've been 1-9, and they're 0-2 right now. But they 1-9 over the past 6 seasons in the first 2 weeks of football. So they do not start well. Last year he was injured during the offseason, and the slow start may have been due to injury. But this year was not like that at all. He played all of training camp and went through the whole process and still came out like he did. So I am going to give him some criticism here and say that he is overrated. There is a lot that needs to be seen. Yes, the 2 seasons that he was healthy, he took the team to the Super Bowl, took the team to the AFC Conference. He didn't come out with a win, but he took them to the playoffs. So I mean,
and everybody know how that game ended.
And going back to, I mean, even that game, and I think I don't know whether he went to the AFC I don't know whether that was his Super Bowl year or whatever. But when he outplayed
went to the Super Bowl and then he went back to the AFC Championship game.
Well, whatever one that he outbeat Baltimore, that was by luck. I was just gonna say that if Lamar, because Tyler Huntley was playing then. If Lamar Jackson was there, and even with Tyler Huntley sold Baltimore that game
pretty much
at the 1 yard line. I mean, I think they ran 90 yard fumble recovery back for a touchdown.
Yep. Quarterback sneak.
So
botched one at that.
I haven't seen. I mean, against Kansas, he's a different Joe. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is that intrigues him to become a different quarterback when he plays Kansas. If Joe played Kansas for 17 weeks, he'll probably be a Super Bowl champ or at least in more playoffs than he has been, because they're just a different squad. And even with them playing at their best against Kansas, they still managed to lose because Patrick Mahomes is just out of this world from a different stratosphere. So, I mean, yeah, I do. Just to say all that, I really think that he is overrated. I mean, he's been injured. I mean, just the window space for a championship run for Cincinnati is closing. I'm not buying the Bengals stock for a championship run. So I mean, I can agree with your point with him being overrated.
And then every quarterback win, I don't know why I said quarterback win, but every win he's had has an overarching theme, in my opinion, and that's the defense.
Yeah,
you know, Trey Hendrickson and with them guys out there, like, it always come back to his defense. Now, to your point about how he plays Kansas City, I think Cincinnati as a team gets up in the morning to play Kansas City.
Right, yeah.
Out of every team in the AFC, Cincinnati is possibly the only team that does not play scared. And when you don't play scared against Kansas City, you are able to keep the game relatively close.
Right. Yeah.
More often than not, we've seen where it has been some shaky stuff happen for them to lose.
Right.
And all the wins against Kansas City was decided by 3 points. That's crazy.
Yeah, now
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, my hat is off to them. I don't know what they got in the food out there in Cincinnati, but it seemed like it's working.
It's working.
They visit Kansas City.
Kansas City, buddy.
So really, to recap that whole thing, do I believe he's overrated? Yes, I do. Do I believe he's a bad quarterback? No, I do not.
No.
He is nowhere, shape, or form a bad quarterback.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So before y'all get in the comments and start running your mouth, I'm not saying he's butt cheeks. I'm just saying that Joe Burrow is given too much grace at this point, though.
I mean, as a team, I think, you know, just with that stat that I had brought up about them being 1-9. And they've been doing it over the past few years, and a lot of people just say, "Oh, that's just how they start." Well, that's not how you want. That's not how you want to start the season. I mean,
exactly.
Sometimes, I mean, you, especially with the weapons that is exposed and at his disposal, you shouldn't be starting 0-2.
Right.
Starting the season. I mean, you lost to the Patriots week 1, and no disrespect to the Patriots at all.
Right.
Their defense played great. I'm going to put that out there. But when you have the weapons that you have on the offensive side of the ball, there's no reason why you should be consistently, losing, year in and year out. You know, for the past 6 seasons. For the past 6 seasons. They have a losing record with the start of the season. And I just don't see how. I don't see how you have that much failure with the weapons that you have. So I mean, big criticism on this guy. And like Fonz said, we're not saying that he's a bad quarterback at all. Like I said, I ranked him number 6, and I mean, I haven't really.
Top 10 is pretty good.
That. I mean, top 10 is pretty good, and I haven't even did no research on why I would, put him number 6. But, it's, much is given, much is required, and I mean, if people are going to put you number 2 in the NFL,
that was I heard it. I was like, wait a second. Now.
Yeah, that's crazy. But if people are going to rank you that high, then you shouldn't be failing like you are, and the way you've been, dealing with injuries, is just not a good look.
Right. And that's why it inclines me to scream overrated, because I'm gonna go ahead and say what it is. The media will put him here. But in all actuality, he about right there.
Right, yeah.
But if you take away those weapons, he goes here. You know what I'm saying? So if the media stops giving out grace willy-nilly, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Right. Yeah.
But unfortunately, I feel like some Bengals fans may see this video and may decide to call us out. I want him to come in here, I could really rip off some stats for you when it comes down to Joseph R. Burrow. But speaking of which, let us know what y'all think in the comments. Do y'all think Joe Burrow is given too much grace for his failures? Is he living off that Super Bowl appearance? Or is he simply one of the most elite quarterbacks in the NFL? Let us know in the comments. I didn't even believe that one. But anyway, so if you're on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, please join us in the Backport Sports Podcast War Room. And if you want to talk about this in the War Room, hey, be my guest. We'll have a whole panel discussion about this subject. But in the War Room, we always posting announcements. We are shouting each other out. We got funny memes in there. All kinds of stuff goes on in the War Room, and you can only get there if you're on Facebook. And also, thank y'all for watching the last couple of videos that we uploaded, man. Y'all making these videos blow up, But we just ask, if you're watching the video, please leave a like and push us up. And if you want to, if you feel inclined, how about subscribe to the channel? I see that, the past couple of weeks we gained more subscribers, so shout out to you guys. We really appreciate you guys, for real. Bro, you got anything you want to add to this?
Not at all. I really hope we get some feedback on this topic. I really want to know what y'all think. So y'all make sure y'all like and comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Just let us know, man, because, Joe, he's been riding the high horse on a few head-to-head wins and a Super Bowl appearance on Patrick Mahomes. And we want to know what y'all guys think. So do that.
Yeah. Help us out, so... We're gonna go ahead and sign off. We ain't gonna keep begging. We ain't Jodeci. We ain't begging. But we know help us out. But we're gonna go ahead and log one out of here, man. This has been Backport Sports Podcast with your man Fonz
and Quan,
and we out.